I think it's time for a little less of me and a little more of you. Hey, I'm Matt. This is Truth Snack, a channel that's designed to help you generate meaningful conversations with those you love. So just this week, I received a message from a friend and it said this. Hey, a parent just told me last night that their family has been watching Truth Snack and enjoying it. He said his 5th grade son is always asking when the next episode will come out. Just thought I'd pass that along. You know, today we're just on the other side of Canadian Thanksgiving, and I wanted to take a minute to tell you what I'm thankful for, which is the nearly 150 people who have already subscribed to Truth Snack. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching nearly 50 hours of cumulative video. It's easy for me to think that I'm just asking you for 2 or 3 minutes, when in reality, when you put all those things together, I'm asking for hours of people's lives. And so it just really humbles me and reminds me to create great content for you. So if you've been tracking Truth Snack over the last 5 episodes, we've been talking about worldview, which is how you piece together your beliefs about origin, meaning, morality, and destiny in a way that actually reflects the world. Hopefully that's familiar to you now. And as I've been posting on each of those subjects, I've received some great responses from you guys, and I want to share some of those right now. In the video on morality, when I was asking you guys to question what makes something right, what makes something wrong, Delphina commented this. One time I asked a friend if I should follow my impulses, like where's the limit? He told me that as long as I'm not hurting anyone else, it should be fine. I know it's not the same thing, but if you aren't harming another person, you should be fine, right? Delphina, I think the standard that you're using here is something that we often use. We think to ourselves, as long as we're not hurting someone else, then we're probably pretty safe morally. Now, when it comes to developing an actual standard for your morality, I think there are kind of 2 tests that you should apply to see if your standard is actually sufficient or is it deficient in some way. The first is whether or not with your standard, you could justify doing something that is wrong. Now that's pretty clear, and in this kind of example that you've given, it seems like it would be hard to do something that's wrong because you wouldn't be able to hurt another person. The second question is whether by your standard, you can justify not doing something that is good. You see, morality is not just about not doing bad things, it's also about doing good things. And so I think that this is a great standard and people apply it all the time, but it's only one half of the puzzle piece. There's more to morality that we have to continue thinking about. In the video I posted on meaning and purpose in life, I asked you the question, what's the most meaningful question that you could ask about your own life? Now, maybe you didn't know this, but in preparation for some of these videos, I've sat down with some of my friends who love theology and philosophy, and I've asked them the same questions that I'm asking you guys on Truth Snack. And so I asked my friend Fedor, what's the most meaningful question that you could ask about your life? Am I being honest? And I'm like, yeah, of course, we're friends, be honest with me. He's like, no, that's the question that I think I need to ask myself, the most meaningful question. Am I being honest? I think that's a fascinating question to ask yourself, because Fedor went on to explain to me that when we're honest about these questions of origin, meaning, morality, and destiny, it can be destabilizing. It can make us feel a little insecure because we realize sometimes we haven't thought through these things a whole lot. There's kind of this prerequisite that when you come to these questions of worldview, you need to be honest with yourself. Not just believe what you want to believe, but actually try to believe something that reflects reality. It's hard work. So finally, in the comment section on one video, I got into a conversation with a user. Eventually, I asked them, what's your criteria for believing something? And so username Solid Rock wrote this. Well, if I think about it logically, it would be evidence from an authority that I deem authoritative. So I guess I believe things based on what is said about them from people in authority that I trust. I think that would be a pretty good reason to believe something. What's interesting about all these questions about worldview is that over the last 5 weeks, all I've really done is given you the questions to ask. I haven't given you a whole lot of answers at all. And maybe that's been frustrating for you, or maybe you haven't even noticed. But I've asked a ton of questions and I've given you very few answers. Now, what we're gonna move into in our next series on Truth Snack is asking all of ourselves, what criteria do we have for believing something is true? And we're gonna work through that, and then hopefully we'll have the tool set to start answering those big questions about worldview. Here's today's question. Who's one person that you know who you think would enjoy the Worldview playlist on Truth Snack? If you've enjoyed the playlist, then I encourage you to share it so you can discuss all of these questions. And if you haven't yet, I encourage you to subscribe. Join us next Tuesday. We're going to continue to discuss what matters. See you then.